Hi everyone and welcome to the October edition of DroneBlocks Up in the Air. I'm your host, Clinton Evans. Now this month's episode we have some very cool things to look at, namely a Halloween light show. Yep. Scott and Pat talk about the machine learning course, as well as looking at the computer vision in Go1's course and what educators are doing it. And we even hear from the course creator. Then we look at our new website, which is very cool. Then we finish with last month's solution to the challenge before I give you a new challenge. So that's our episode. Let's dive right into it. Now, 400-foot light show. That's right, a Halloween light show for 400 feet. It is so cool. Here's the link. There's a link down below in the description to the Tom Bet George video. Check it out. It's 8 minutes long. It starts off with a great opening and a light show, and it's got jack-o'-lanterns, and then you've got Metallica Master of Puppets playing. But the coolest thing is when you get to about 3 minutes and 50 seconds where it starts to play, that's right, the Ghostbusters theme song. And then you have this great light show with Ghostbusters. You have jack-o'-lanterns singing the lyrics, and you have Slimer, and the giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man makes an appearance. It is just such a cool light show. I highly recommend you see it. And yes, it is from October 2022, but it's still October. So that's what made this month's edition. It's amazing what you can learn with light shows and drones. And yes, there's some light show material in our curriculum. And speaking of curriculum, there's been a YouTube video just out with Scott talking to Pat Ryan, and Pat Ryan is the creator of our machine learning course. It is one of my favorite courses, and I really like that Pat will take you from, if you're quite green on machine learning and it's new to you, this is a perfect course for you, because Pat will take you from start to finish, and Pat's courses are so thorough and full of detail. I just really enjoyed watching these two talk. I highly recommend you check out the video in the link below. And we also have a bit of a spotlight on the Go1s, a bit of a spotlight on our Go1s, and we look at the computer vision course that Joe Miller has been doing. Hi Joe. And we look at the Go1 course. Joe Miller has been doing some great stuff with his students, and they've been sharing it on our DroneBlocks community. Now, there's this blog post that you should definitely read. Doesn't take too long, but what I really like is that you get to hear from Gabriel Margolis, the author of the course. And one of the things that jumped out at me that I really enjoyed is when asked, what do you hope the students walk away with after taking this course? Gabe says, I hope that students can have a concrete understanding of how information about the surrounding environment can be processed through the digital eyes and brain of a legged robot. That is so cool. With the computer vision course, you learn about filtering out objects, doing face detection. It's really, really cool stuff. And speaking of cool, DroneBlocks has just got a new coat of paint on a brand new website. Cool. I love that the Go1s feature there, and you get to see the dog doing its thing. Even got some very cool footage of some light show drones. The information is so easy for you to find now. Great answers to some common questions. It's real cool to see. But what I do like is if you scroll all the way down, hey, that's me. But you also get shortcuts to all the apps that you need for DroneBlocks. But there's a very cool area where you get to see what people are saying about DroneBlocks using the hashtag DroneBlocks on X. And it's very cool. So check that out. That's DroneBlocks.io. And speaking of IO, anyone that beat the time of 1 minute and 9 seconds, I owe a gold medal to. And that's right. The challenge from last month was to fly over and land on 5 helipads as quickly as possible. Now my time was 1 minute and 9 seconds. So if you beat that, please let me know. But here's what I did. So I started out in the center, and I need to find the 5 helipads. So what I did is I hid my code, got a nice big view of the world, moved around, and I said, right, I'm going to do the 5 buildings with the helipad. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, before I quickly show what it looks like, I want to show you a cool trick, and this is how I did all the math. I went into my location tool, and I know my drone starts at 0x and 0y. Then I clicked on the first helipad, and I saw it was minus 1943 centimeters for the X and minus 394 centimeters for the Y. That's why my first fly to XYZ block is minus 1940 and minus 400 for the centimeters, with the Z value being 1750 to really get my drone up in the air. So then I got my drone up, and then I went to the next. So I took the X value of minus 1943, and I subtracted to get it to positive 144, and I used those values there. And the same thing, the Y value, I went from that helipad to that helipad, and I worked out the difference. So that's about minus 1400. And I did that right through to the different helipads until I finally got to the hospital, and then everything looks like this when you launch the mission. Now, of course, I'm going to speed this up because we don't want to watch it for 1 minute and 9 seconds, but my drone flies up at an angle to the top, does a land and takeoff, then it flies all the way to the next building, and then I come and I land on the hospital, and that's clocked in at 1 minute and 9 seconds. So I'd love to hear what your time is and which helipads you chose, but for your October challenge, do something spooky, whether you do your own little shape of something spooky in the sky, or you do some jack-o'-lanterns or some scary fencing around the park. Your imagination is your only limit, so I can't wait to see what you come up with then. And that takes us to the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed anything or you learned something new, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our DroneBlocks YouTube channel so you never miss an Up in the Air episode. And until then, keep your drones in the air, your students engaged, and have fun.